That's a lot of damage!
Hantanil Julian Mildanin, and thank you once again for joining me.
That's a lot of damage!
Lord Aramil. Oh. And I forgot that I put my own stream up. Alright. My name is Lord Aramil, and today we will be talking about Critical Role. Yes. So, this video is the conclusion to my Critical Role experiment, I guess. Kind of, dipping my toe into that fandom and seeing what there is to find in that. And I'll admit there's quite a bit there. So we're going to settle in, we're going to talk about it. Gonna drink some Dr. Pepper. So, Critical Role. Between 7 and 8 voice actors in a room having fun, rolling some dice. Good stuff. I went into this with the idea that it was largely scripted, largely acted, and just kind of not actually D&D. And perhaps it can be understandable why I went into this kind of as such. In my own experience, just watching people play D&D is not that entertaining. Not nearly as entertaining as, actually playing D&D. And therefore, I was confused as to why, hundreds of thousands of people watch these videos? Let me just pull up really quick. Critical Role Campaign 2. Let's pull up the first episode. Alright. These episodes are not, concise. The first episode alone is 3.5 hours long. And that seems to be a short episode. So they seem to be about 4 hours. It seems to be the pretty standard, at least. So, man, that's a big number. 14 million views on Critical Role Episode 1 back in 2018. That's insane. My first video on this series, where I was first reacting to their first episode, the first half, I believe last time I checked got 200 views, which is like 4 times what I expected. And that's just from putting Critical Role in the tags. So it's a little insane how much of a fan base this group has. And I know that's not probably all, unique views, but still, that's a lot of people tuning in to watch, 7, 8 voice actors playing D&D. So perhaps I can be forgiven for thinking that there was something not quite normal going on. And there isn't. Not quite. They are all professionals in the voice acting industry. And I didn't realize exactly how professional they were going into this. I actually went through the IMDb page for, I think it was Sam, and I was really impressed. There's a lot there, some of which I recognize. So surprising. There's that. That's for damn sure. Yeah, it's crazy. These are all full-on adults too. I think the average age was about 39, 40 at the either at this time or at present day. I can't remember which. I think it was present day. So, yeah, these are full-on adults playing D&D and watched by, let's see, Geek and Sundry has 2.2 million subscribers, so... But, yeah, so... Let's start. The two questions. Is Critical Role D&D? And two, is it worth watching? And these two things are completely separate. It can be worth watching and not be D&D. That's for damn sure. There's a lot of things on YouTube that are, in fact, worth watching and not D&D. And it can be D&D without being worth watching. I know most of my sessions are probably not worth tuning into, as entertaining as that might be for me. So, we'll start with worth watching. Going into this with my ADD attention span and looking at the length of the videos, I was a little put off, not gonna lie. But yes, the answer is just yes. Is it worth watching? Sure, yeah. Regardless of anything else, the players are funny. The interactions they have with each other are enjoyable. Geeky-ass jokes are great. The voices that they can all conjure up, and occasionally sound effects, are phenomenal and like shocking in some degrees, but are top notch. And Matt Mercer puts through an incredible story. And I'm after I finished recording my 6th episode, so, you know, when I finished episode 3 of Critical Role, I just queued up episode 4 and just, you know, I think I started playing Minecraft and just had that running. And that's, for me, that's the perfect way of doing it. It's like, okay, well, I'm cooking while I'm doing something else, basically. Have Critical Role running and, you know, occupy my brain with that. So yeah, I'd definitely say that it is worth watching. It's fun. It's funny. It's good storytelling. So that's where we bring in our next question. Is it staged or is it real D&D? It's not staged, I don't believe. What it is a story-driven campaign with a group of players who are invested and desiring to continue the overall story, even at the expense of momentary fun. Well, not fun. Distractions, I guess. Like, we get them in there, but the players are... It's a good word. The players will go forward and, you know, they'll see the plot hook and they'll take it. I know that my own players, and sometimes even myself, as a player, we'll occasionally see that dangling plot hook and decide, you know what? Nah, we'll go do something else. And none of these players, and I'm not saying that's a good thing. I should specify is that we definitely we were kind of dicks to one of our DMs just because we kept dodging plot hooks. But all of these players, you know, they grab those plot hooks and they ride them to through an incredible story. Matt Mercer has maybe not planned out everything. There are a few moments where you can just very short moments where he pauses and collects his thoughts and then goes through. They're all really good at improv, I gotta say. And I know somebody mentioned that in one of my videos. I forget your name, and that makes me sad because you've commented quite a few times, actually. Leany PW, I believe. Shout out to you, because you've actually been commenting quite a bit. Yes, and I am also sorry about Clara not being able to join us for this rather important episode, but it's okay. Don't worry, Clara will be back eventually. And here's why. I really enjoy Critical Role now. Damn it. Here I am, trying to make good videos about how this thing isn't real D&D and being all jaded and shit, and here I turn out and I'm wrong. Oh. Yeah, it's real D&D. Dice are being rolled. Technically, we can't see what the dice are, what the dice say, so they could very elaborately have put all this together, but at that point, I mean, I can't even blame them. I cannot discern this from a dedicated D&D session. So, where does this leave us? Well, honestly, it's good. There's not much else to say. It's funny. It's entertaining. As a DM, I find it very, not informative, not educational, but it's an excellent resource for DMs to collect as many stories as we can. Take everything that we can learn and then rearrange it in our own way and send it back out to our players in new and innovative ways. And Matt Mercer is an excellent DM, and I am certain that the quality of my own DMing will go up by watching Matt Mercer. This guy is quite literally a professional, actually, now that I think about it. I don't know if they get paid, but I presume that this brings in revenue to them, just from merchandise. I honestly am I thought about getting like a Critical Role t-shirt to hide under this and just do a nice little reveal, but it would have not arrived in time by the time I thought about it. Sorry. Oh. But yeah, these are excellent people to learn from. One of my worries was that a person who had not played D&D before and watched this and then got into D&D would be somehow disappointed or be like, oh, this isn't what I thought it would be. And to an extent, that could still happen. Your DM will not be Matt Mercer, probably, unless you're very lucky. The DM might be able to do a bunch of really fun little voices. And we do our best. But we're not Matt Mercer, that's for sure. But as long as, a player can realize that this is like pro sport, and at the around your local table is more like backyard soccer, football, whatever. then you're fine. Really, it gives an interesting idea for characters. It gives honestly, I want to say that how this is how D&D should be. This is an excellent, just all around crystallization of some of the best of D&D. And I feel a little silly, actually, having kind of dismissed it out of hand for so long. But it is. It's just it takes some time to get into, but so does every other campaign. And honestly, to give you a bit of a look ahead, I've started watching campaign 3 because it just came out this past Thursday. So you can expect more videos of me just talking about Critical Role because apparently at least a few of you seem to like that. So, all right. I'm here for it. It's they have some very interesting characters in that, so that'll be fun to talk about. And well, technically I already have, but because I recorded Thursday night upon watching the live stream. But the episodes are long. So I don't blame anybody who doesn't want to watch them. But if you've got long car rides or stuff of the like, where you're just like listen when you would normally listen to podcasts or audiobooks or whatever. Critical Role's good for that. It really is. And I'm pleasantly surprised. That's what we really can boil down to. Is I'm pleasantly surprised. This is entertaining. It's D&D, and it will honestly help new players. You have a bunch of different personalities around the table, any one of which a player could identify with or learn from. Honestly, I can look at a few of them and be like, okay, you're that person, you're that person, you're that person, you're that person. It's not, not clearly defined. Like, I can't take every single one of my players and slot them into one of these roles. But I can definitely look and I was like, okay, well, my friend Newman is probably Travis. It seems like they would get along pretty well. Honestly, Clarin and Laura are, I can see quite a few similarities there. It's funny in a way. Don't let them know that I said that though. But a couple times over the last campaign, Clarin compared my DMing favorably to Matt Mercer, and only now do I recognize just how much of a compliment that was. So, it's good. I mean, there's not much more that I can say. It's a good series. It's good D&D, and it's an excellent resource for DMs because, like I said, the more stories we know, the better stories we can make. And just looking a little bit at campaign 3, I'm really excited. I'm not gonna lie, because we're taking that level of fantasy, and we're cranking it up to 11. And I'm all for it. So, I guess that's really all I've got to say on Critical Role. Yeah, it's good. And I'm going to keep making videos for as long as people are here enjoying it. So, we will see. I know my streams rarely get anybody, but my videos seem to be doing reasonably well. More than basically any other type of video I've done before. And if you're interested in some of my other videos, by all means, please. Let's see here. Don't bother with the Minecraft videos, though. I beg you. Yeah, don't worry about that. Instead, I have some D&D type videos that you'll probably be more interested in. I did a fun little Rome versus Carthage Total War campaign. Where are my... Yeah, the Aramil's Musings, I believe. Some of them. In any case, you'll find them if you look for them. And yeah. So, thank you for joining me thus far, and I really hope to continue this journey with you into Campaign 3, where we're all on the same page. And no, not really, because apparently there are a bunch of characters that are returning. But you know what? We're closer to the same page. It's a fresh start for us all, and I'm excited to have you all with me. So, Hantanil Tulien Mildini, thank you once again for joining me, my friends. And until next time, farewell.